Good evening and welcome to the special broadcast of the Buck Stops here from the Rajghat, the Ghats of Banaras, which really have begun to feel like our home in the last few weeks, or at least our office space. Actually, this is a beautiful office space to have. But on a more serious note, India has recorded its highest ever turnout as curtains come down on voting, and now all that's left is the counting. At higher than 66%, the voter turnout for all the phases, the Election Commission told the country today, is higher than in 1984 in the aftermath of the assassination of Indira Gandhi. Does that signal a wave? The BJP would certainly argue so on a day when exit polls are forecasting celebration for the NDA and gloom for the Congress. On our last show, and we had to be from the Ghats in Varanasi, on our last show on the road to 2014, we'll be looking at what Narendra Modi has argued today, that this is an election that marks a paradigm shift from all conventional elections that have come before. With me here at Rajghat from the Kashi Vidyapeeth University, we have Professor Prabhat Singh, my colleague Rahul Srivastav, who knows Uttar Pradesh and of course politics in general like the back of his hand. From the Banaras Utsav, and somebody who's become a regular on our programs now is Gaurav Kapoor. We'll also, of course, be talking to national politicians as the program unfolds. And we thought that tonight on our chai stop, we should have a poetic end. You've heard the politicians, now hear the poets. That will be coming up later in the program.
ऐसा है कि अभी ओपिनियन पोल आ रहा था कि एनडीए की सरकार बन गई और महंगाई और भ्रष्टाचार मुख्य मुद्दा है, तो मैंने दोहा लिखने का प्रयास किया है कि यूपीए हो या एनडीए या हो वे त्रिमूल, महंगाई की मार से सब फाकेंगे धूल.
Now the real numbers will come only on Friday, on the 16th of May, but to keep things interesting, there are a number of exit polls out this evening, and we're bringing you an aggregate. We're bringing you the poll of polls, and it is giving the NDA reason to smile. In fact, it's giving them reason to laugh. Let's look at what the numbers suggest. This is aggregating six different exit polls, and this is what our numbers are. The exit polls, poll of polls, is giving the NDA 280 seats. It's giving the UPA, that's Congress plus allies, 111 seats. And it's giving all the others 152 seats. So this means that the others, the non-Congress, non-BJP parties today actually have more seats than the Congress. And if these numbers are actually anywhere near the truth, the Congress is or will be at its worst performance ever, slipping below 114. So that is what the poll of polls is giving or forecasting for the different political formations. Narendra Modi has blogged this evening. Initially, there was anticipation that he could be here in Varanasi. He chose to stay away on voting day, with one BJP leader saying his presence here would have been a distraction. But some very important, as well as you could argue, provocative, at least for the opposition, comments coming in his blog this evening. He's saying 2014 marks a paradigm shift from conventional electioneering. He also said that normally it is the ruling party that sets the agenda. But in his blog, he said the Congress has been, instead of being proactive, has only been reactive. And according to Mr. Modi's blog, this is one of the big differentiators of this election campaign. He goes on to talk at length about the power of the social media, using it or talking about it as one of the tools of communication that completely changed the rules of the game, and to quote him, helped stop half-truths and manufactured lies. Those are the strong words that Narendra Modi is using in his blog. All right, let's introduce our other guests this evening. We're joined from the BJP by its senior leader and spokesperson Siddharthnath Singh, somebody who also knows the state of UP very well. We're also joined from the Aam Aadmi Party by Professor Anand Kumar, who is actually a Banarsi and should have been here with us at the Rajghat today, but he's in Delhi tonight. From the Congress, we're joined by Randeep Surjewala, and as I said, with me in this here at Rajghat, we have Professor Prabhat Singh, Rahul Srivastav, and Gaurav Kapoor. We also, I believe, are joined by Ajay Rai. He's, of course, a local Congress candidate here who found himself in a lot of trouble today when he wore the Congress symbol while standing in line to vote. Parallels were immediately drawn with Narendra Modi's selfie, and he's got an FIR as well as an election commission notice. But before I go to him, I'm just waiting to be told when we can go to him. Rahul, before we get all the politicians squabbling, your big takeaway from the national picture, the poll of polls, the highest ever voter turnout. There is no underemphasizing this. This is the highest voter turnout India has ever seen.
Barka, I think the biggest factor is the 18 to 35 voter.
Yeah.
And again, Narendra Modi is connected to the social media. If BJP lost the 2009 election badly, it was primarily because BJP's strong base in urban centers drifted away from the BJP. And perhaps Narendra Modi, by using Narendra Modi...
And it actually went to Manmohan Singh in 2009.
Yes, it went
used to be the BJP base that went to Manmohan
which
Singh
urban
in 2009.
voter and the middle class went to the Congress party. This time, Narendra Modi, by using Narendra Modi, BJP has managed to recapture at least the imagination. I will never say before the results out that it has captured the votes.
Yeah.
But it has at least visibly captured the imagination of that one segment which the BJP also depended on. Also, what has happened that by bringing in the factors like how people from X region work in Gujarat, he has managed to address certain aspirations in certain semi-rural belts in places like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, where there are aspirations of a better mobile or maybe a better jeans or a better motorcycle. These aspirations,
aspirational India,
which were actually initially fueled by Manmohan Singh government.
Yeah.
The 1991 liberalization, 2004 government, all those aspirations which somewhere Manmohan Singh government faltered in 2009 to 2014 phase, Narendra Modi somewhere tried to address them by saying that I'm the one. Though I think somewhere he has over-promised. How he will deliver is very difficult. But somewhere he has raised that curiosity among those people to create a political link with them. Whether they have voted for him, 16th will know.
Right. The real numbers only out on the 16th of May, but very interesting there about how in many ways two things seem to have worked in the BJP's favor this time, and we'll know, of course, whether the results match that. One is better communication, and the second is, of course, not being dismissive about the middle class, which maybe the Congress in the beginning was. Now, as I said, we're going to hear from Ajay Rai in just a minute or so, but let me get responses on the national picture from the BJP and the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. Siddharth Nath Singh, let me start with you. Of course, the exit polls give you reason to smile, but what we want you to comment upon this evening is Narendra Modi saying this election marks a paradigm shift. What for you is the biggest shift in this election, other than the fact that perhaps for the first time, one person, Mr. Modi himself, became the central election issue?
Well, Barka, in my view, the paradigm shift is that this election 2014 is an election where voters have voted, as per the exit polls which are showing, the voters have voted for a good governance and development. They have tried to shun away the vote bank politics or the negativity attached to the campaigning, and they have looked at the positive messages which were given by the BJP and particularly by Narendra Modi. So that's been a basic issue. If I look at it, that this 2014 election is going to lay the foundation for a growth, a powerful India, a strong India, and an India where aspiration is for development and good governance.
Okay. Now the question is, since elections are over, none of us need to be politically correct. Let's actually look at, you know, both the high points and the low points of this election for all parties. Randeep Surjewala, till yesterday the Congress was saying that the BJP's attack on the Election Commission betrayed a sign of anxiety. Would you say that in the Congress's decision to not take part in programming around exit polls, it betrays the same sort of anxiety, perhaps even more?
Absolutely not, Barka. I think decision to not take part in exit polls is not new or recent. We took it consciously on account of lack of appropriate data, methodology, sample sizes, and scientific basis, as also the string that your channel and other channels showed as to how these polls could be manipulated. After all, there is no replacement to the real verdict of the people that is coming. Having said that, I just want to add two short things. Number one, I think this poll, which has seen one of the highest voter turnout, as you said, reflects a great strengthening of democracy, a yearning to be participant in governance and government, and a definite faith in the democratic process, policy and institutions in this country. That's a good sign as a citizen.
Randeep, you don't think the highest ever voter turnout perhaps indicates a wave in favor of one or the other individual? You don't think that?
Barkha, I wouldn't think so. I would not think so at all, because we just saw in the four assembly elections, higher and many other elections, higher voter turnout does not necessarily always vote out the incumbent government. Having said that, I agree with Mr. Narendra Modi on one thing, that yes, this election has seen a paradigm shift, but not of the catchy words that my friend from BJP Siddharth says. A paradigm shift where he polarized the entire polity of the country on regionalistic, communal, linguistic and casteist lines. I don't know, he may have managed to get some support in some pockets, but in the long term, it is India which lost because of this rabid polarization that Mr. Modi and BJP set in.
Okay, we'll explore that in just a moment. Professor Anand Kumar, I'm requesting your patience because Ajay Rai is with us for just a couple of minutes.
Sure, no problem.
A couple of brief responses from him. He was at the center of a controversy today, Election Commission notice, Election Commission FIR. Ajay Rai, आप पोलिंग बूथ में कांग्रेस का सिंबल पहन के गए. पहले आपने बोला कि ये मेरा हक है एज अ कैंडिडेट. फिर आपने बोला कि गलती से हो गया. आपने ऐसा क्यों किया?
नहीं, मैंने जानबूझकर कोई ऐसा नहीं किया या कोई दिखावे के लिए मैंने नहीं किया. वो मेरे कुर्ते पर लगा हुआ हमेशा रहता है. रूटीन वे में हम लोग चुनाव प्रचार में जाते थे तो वो कुर्ते में कहीं लगा रहता था. तो जो मैंने 2 दिन पहले कुर्ते पहन रखे थे उसमें वो लगा हुआ था और उसको पहनकर मैं गया था वोट डालने के लिए. और मैं जब वोट डालने गया तो वहाँ पर किसी ने रोका भी नहीं, किसी ने कोई टोका नहीं और मैं वोट डाल के फिर आया अब घर पे. वो जान के मैंने ये नहीं किया या हाथ में लेकर मैंने दिखावा नहीं किया कि मैं.
जब मोदी जी ने यही बात की तो मोदी जी ने यही बात की तो आपकी पार्टी ने तो बहुत शोर मचाया.
नहीं बरखा जी, ये मैंने हाथ में लेकर मैंने नहीं दिखाया. जैसे मोदी जी ने तो हाथ में लेकर उसको पूरा मीडिया के सामने प्रदर्शित किया. मैं तो उसको रूटीन वे में अपने कुर्ते के बीच में ये लगा के चलता हूँ. तो वो वही एक उस तरीके से ही लगा रखा था और जानबूझकर मैंने कि मैंने जानबूझकर ऐसा किया हो कि मुझे ऐसा करना है, दिखावा करना है या
मेरा एक आखिरी सवाल आपसे अजय राय जी. अरविंद केजरीवाल ने आज बयान दिया कि आप तो कहीं पिक्चर में नहीं है, कांग्रेस भी पिक्चर में नहीं है, उनकी लड़ाई नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ है. जहां तक वाराणसी का सवाल है, इस पर आप क्या टिप्पणी देंगे?
देखिए, वो तो 16 तारीख का दिन तय कर देगा कि कौन जीतेगा, कौन लड़ाई में है. और एक बात मैं सीधे सीधे कह देना चाहता हूं अरविंद केजरीवाल के लिए कि उनकी ड्रामेबाजी सामने आ गई. अभी तक चुनाव नहीं हुआ था, वोट नहीं पड़े थे, तो उनका ट्रेन से आना जाना हो रहा था. वो ट्रेन से आ रहे थे और ट्रेन से जा रहे थे. आज वो अभी शाम को 6:30 बजे की इंडिगो वाली जहाज से दिल्ली गए हैं और आज ही निकल गए. और यही हम लोग बार बार कह रहे हैं कि स्थानीय बनाम बाहरी का बनारस का मामला है, ये चुनाव पूरा है और यह साबित हो गया. और इन लोगों ने, दोनों लोगों ने आज बनारस के अंदर वोट भी नहीं कोई कास्ट किया, कोई वोट भी नहीं इनके हैं और शाम वाली जहाज पकड़कर ये दिल्ली चले गए. तो जो व्यक्ति अपने शहर के जिस जगह से चुनाव लड़ रहा है उसका वहां कोई स्थायी निवास नहीं है, वो बनारस का क्या विकास करेगा, काम का क्या करेगा?
Ajay Rai, thanks for joining our program. Let's take that straight to Professor Anand Kumar. Anand Kumar, you heard what Ajay Rai said. What did Arvind Kejriwal mean by saying that his contest is only with Narendra Modi? And do the exit polls disappoint you as well? The Congress has decided not to participate in them at all. Do you believe the Aam Aadmi Party got over-ambitious? You overreached both in your decision to contest against Narendra Modi and spreading yourself too thin nationally?
No, I think throughout the election we felt very gratified that we made these political parties change their way of approaching the people. They could go back to search their old manifestos, take time to redefine their approach to some of the failures of both the parties and try to have as many clean candidates as possible because of the pressure coming from below against criminalization of politics and crony capitalism.
Yes.
We are also very thankful to the
Yes.
people of India that we got as many as Congress and BJP candidates from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal and Andaman Nicobar. Our effort was to bring back people with courage and conviction and character into the democratic political process, which is becoming more and more difficult. And this paradigm shift is certainly
Yes.
a very serious shift, because it is one of the most capital intensive campaigns, one of the most heavily advertisement based campaigns, and one of the most divisive campaigns in last 30-35 years. And this paradigm shift
But you
is
know what's
negation
very
of democracy,
Yes. Yes.
is a negation of
What's
democracy,
very interesting.
diversity and development. All
Yes.
the three have been put aside. It became very personality oriented.
Ji.
And Congress played the ball with BJP.
Ji.
They talked about Modi versus Rahul, where Rahul failed miserably to catch the imagination because of 10 years of anti-incumbency.
Very interesting. You're saying Congress actually played ball with the BJP. What I find interesting is all
Yes.
three national parties on this program are agreeing, Anand Kumarji, all of you are agreeing that it marks a paradigm shift, but you're all disagreeing on the reasons for this paradigm shift. Now, Siddharth Nath Singh, come in on this.
Sure.
Two points coming from the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress here. One, the Congress saying, yes, Mr. Modi is right. It does mark a paradigm shift because it was the most polarized election ever. The Aam Aadmi Party saying, Congress, BJP to mili hui the. This became Rahul versus Modi when this was a parliamentary democracy.
Well, I can only say that Aam Aadmi Party is living in an illusion, and somehow they missed a very good opportunity which was given by the people of Delhi. Their anxiety to spread their wings throughout India showed them in a poor, as a poor political party without any vision, and too much eager to go ahead and capture something which amounts to greed. So certainly I will not go in detail about Aam Aadmi Party, but let me say for the Congress, which have been our main opponents in most
Yes.
of the states, they somehow
Yes.
have still not understood what the public wanted from them. They were not able to address the 10 years of misrules or misgovernance, or particularly the last 5 years, I would say, where there is the inflation is still not coming down. Even today it's gone up. And on the development front, it's been a poor record. On the employment front, it's been an extremely poor record of this government. So all these issues were the real issues, and BJP relentlessly, we worked on it. And not now, Barkha, let me tell you, if we go into a detail of analysis, we have been working on this, on the negatives of governance for last 1 year, and that is why we are seeing such a surge for BJP and particularly for Narendra Modi ji.
Randeep, I know you have your hand up and I will give you a chance to rebut, but I just want to get our guests here. Rahul, to you, and then I want to get Gaurav and Professor Singh. You've covered many elections. What has stood out for you as being the most different of this campaign?
But the most important thing is when a government is in power, the government by its action prepares for the next election. An opposition prepares on the weakness of the government. This government, if you remember from 2009, every day we were talking about a setback. Its reactions to every crisis were poor, slow, and I think hopeless. In comparison, the RSS started preparing sometime in 2010. 2011, in Bombay, you know those events in which to get Narendra Modi to Bombay, one of the old sung men is edged out of the BJP, Sanjay Joshi. It's as early as that.
This
the
is
RSS,
the national executive where Modi makes a condition that I won't come unless Sanjay Joshi is thrown out.
Despite Nitin Gadkari's opposition. The RSS started working on a game plan much earlier. While the Congress was faltering for a strategy for 2014, the RSS was preparing. And that is why when Rajnath Singh went 1 day ago to the RSS bosses, he came out and said that I wanted to thank the RSS. And if this time around our BJP looks better prepared than the Congress, it is primarily because the RSS prepared a game plan. It gave a leader. There was a crisis as far as the Congress is concerned, as far as the leader is concerned.
At least in the formalization of it, and that never happened till the end.
Leader.
Okay, let me just get Gaurav and Professor Singh. Professor Singh, you know, when I last spoke to you, you made an interesting comment when we were talking about the iconography of this election. How everyone wanted to own that Madan Mohan Malviya statue at Lanka Chowk in Banaras. And you said, wo sab chhodiye, Modi was the icon of this election. It was a love him or loathe him kind of election. What, from the Banarasi point of view, was this the most polarized election you've ever seen here?
Barkha, first I have a different opinion about this idea of polarization.
Ji.
You know, somebody from the studio was commenting that it is a polarization on communal lines,
Randeep
on many
Surjewala of the
another
Congress,
yes. I think this is not the kind of thing. It's not a fair assessment of Modi's whole
What
affair.
would be your assessment?
I think this time, in every caste block, in every, vote bank, there has been a dent with the certain dreams and ideas and aspirations of the people in general.
You're saying the caste barriers are being broken because of aspiration.
And from all sections, you see, people have found their own reflections and dreams in the dreams of
So you're making Rahul's point about aspiration. That
yes.
Modi came to symbolize aspiration.
Aspirations of the youth.
Yeah.
And Modi also behaved and ultimately proved and emerged more as a statesman than as a mere politician from a political
now
party.
that's a statement that will evoke some people who support you, some people who oppose you. Gaurav, you know, both of you are from here. It's interesting to see the perspective on Modi from here. If he wins, he's going to be the member of parliament from Banaras, which is why your views really count. Gaurav.
Well, I mean, I do feel that, yes, this is one of the most interesting elections we would have ever seen, partially because we've never had BJP promote one person. You know, they've been against this, single personality
cult,
and which is a good thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong in it. Yes, I do agree that, Congress was underprepared for sure. They had done good things, but they never did talk about it. What I'm hoping, from a Banaras point of view, I think let's leave all this, whatever has happened, maybe the bitterness, and the campaign is over now.
Yeah.
We're now just
now it's
waiting
about
for the
who wins
results.
and what happens next.
So whoever wins, I mean, maybe Mr. Modi will win from here. At 57% voting that happened in Banaras, one can't really say. I mean, it looks like that Mr. Modi could win, but it also could look like Mr. Ajay Rai.
So what would be your expectation if he wins?
It looks like even Mr. Ajay Rai could win. Also could look like Mr.
Really? Does it really look like anybody could win?
I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm confused. I mean, I'll be very honest. I've gone around the city and talked to a lot of people.
I thought the fight was really for silver.
It does look like that Mr. Modi has an edge. I'm not denying that.
Okay.
But there's still confusion. Now, coming to what we need, I mean, as a city, I've made this point to begin with. We need three things, and I'm requesting whoever becomes our
quickly,
next.
Gaurav, I'm going to go to my guests.
Can they start dredging the Ganges River, please, in the first 6 months? Can they make a sewage treatment plant? And I'm sure the next MP of here, especially if he does become the Prime Minister, can get the roads fixed. If we can start with that in the first 6 months, I think we would make a very good
Professor
beginning.
Singh, you want to add to that? Then I have to go to my national politician.
Yes, I wish to say that we can't just expect any representative of any area to do things in a miraculous fashion. It's a matter of time and plans and projects and everything. And if Modi is elected as the representative of this area, then he makes a promise, and he seems to be a man of promise. He has a background of his
so
performance.
Give him time is what
he has a promise.
Saying.
No, he has a
but
promise.
But he's made so many promises that if he does win.
But it's not baseless because he has a backdrop of his own performance.
Okay, let me take this back to our national.
One thing.
I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you, sir. Randeep, go ahead. You were wanting to make a point, and then I want to get Anand Kumar in on this. What have been, one of the curious things that happened today is your spokesperson Shakil Ahmed, when asked if the Congress loses, who will be responsible? Will Rahul Gandhi take a part of the blame? Immediately there was that typical Congress attempt to shield Rahul from responsibility. Now Rahul has led this campaign. If the Congress does badly, it has to be his responsibility as well, if not primarily. Yet, the response that has already come from the Congress is Rahul was not in government, it's not his fault. So in other words, it's all Manmohan Singh's fault.
Barkha, I would wait till 16 before answering that hypothetical question. With due regards to both my esteemed colleagues from Banaras, and I respect their viewpoints.
Yes.
What they were saying is what is wrong with Mr. Modi. We saw BJP MPs in Banaras successively. We also saw a BJP mayor in Banaras. But what did they do for Banaras? Mr. Modi similarly promised a Vision 2025 document that we have discussed in your program many times. Where is that Vision 2025 document? Why did Mr. Modi forgot to bring the manifesto of his party till after the first phase of polling? What is Mr. Modi's view on creation of new jobs? How does he propose to reduce CAD, etc., etc.? These are issues that people wanted to know in the debate of growth, development and good governance story. But all Mr. Modi had to offer was a lot of jeers, was a lot of denigration, was a lot of attack on institutions and a lot of polarization. But we never saw the developmental agenda that Mr. Modi so professed and swore by.
Okay, let me just get Anand Kumar and then I'll come to you, Siddharth. Anand Kumar, I want you to talk about this personality cult that you believe defined this election. You said Congress played ball, they went along with the Rahul versus Modi thing. But wasn't Arvind Kejriwal also about running a personality-centric campaign? In fact, this became in the public imagination. I'm not saying this is how the numbers will play out, but Banaras reflects that. When Rahul Gandhi arrived here for the road show, it started looking like Arvind versus Rahul versus Modi. So wasn't Mr. Kejriwal also part of the over-personification of politics?
Well, the campaign of Aam Aadmi Party was not only not for Arvind Kejriwal, not even for their own candidates. They were saying, "Is baar imandar ko chuniye." And if there is a better candidate than our candidate, sure, go ahead for him or her. But you know, the media strategy or the need of media was to fit Aam Aadmi Party into the given situation where one party, which was organizationally committed to a faceless thing called RSS, projected after Shri Vajpayee in 96. For the first time, they deviated and again tried the old formula, projected Shri Narendra Modi, and somebody rightly said, not for yesterday, for last 2.5 years. And then Shri Rahul Gandhi has been there since ages. For last 2 elections, everybody knows he is the Prime Minister in waiting, or actually, he is Prime Minister by proxy. So, there was some kind of personification which made Aam Aadmi Party's all efforts nearly neutralized, and people started talking about Aam Aadmi Party is equal to Arvind Kejriwal. And then the attacks on Arvind Kejriwal.
Yeah.
So many attacks. Obviously, he had to come there as a victim, as the underdog. But my point is different. There is already a system which is under command of BJP in Varanasi, Mayor BJP, MLC BJP, MLS BJP, MP BJP, and the state government is responsible for local developmental initiatives. The water issue or Ganga issue is national issue of 24,000 kilometers. It cannot be done by any magic wand unless there is a collective exercise. So there is a great disappointment, but that disappointment is about to come if he wins, which he is not winning today.
Okay, Siddharth Nath Singh, we have to start wrapping up. Last comments from you. Yes. Yeah, okay, Randeep and then Siddharth.
Barkha, we all know that 10 Janpath can never be wrong. They can be best misinformed or misguided by their colleagues. So I don't think Sir Randeep Surjewala is going to accept the blame on Rahul Gandhi or anybody else in the 10 Janpath. But nevertheless, I think again the Congress is going wrong. Congress is barking at a wrong tree. It is certainly this election 2014 was a performance to be judged by the voters of the UPA 2 and also the last 10 years. It was nothing to do with the Gujarat. Gujarat elections was over in 2012. You guys have raised all these issues, and particularly as BJP, our strategy was we pitted against the Gujarat development model vis-a-vis with the center development model under the UPA. We realized the benefits of it, and you fell in a trap and you continued with doing the same in 2014, and we are the beneficiaries.
Here's my point to all the politicians. It's over now for 3 days.
Can I come in and just say one line, Barkha, now?
One line, because I've got literally a minute left and I want to give the last word. Randeep, one
that's
line.
Right. I want to tell Siddharth as also your viewers that the election is over. They don't have to continue with their tirade of denigration. The important thing is that India must survive, sustain and propel forward as one nation.
My friend, come
that
out
is
of
what
denial.
was undone by the venomous campaign and divisive campaign of BJP and Mr. Modi. I hope that all of us, all Indians will get their heads together and join
together again. And you have doomed yourself with Zahar ki kheti. That's the end.
We leave it there. Siddhartha Singh, Randeep Surjewala, Professor Anand Kumar, thanks for joining us. My last word going to my guests here. 30 seconds each. Professor Singh.
I wish to say that Mr. Modi proved to be the best candidate amongst the promising ones here.
Yeah.
Two things are noticeable. The element of the local, the argument that one is local,
Yes.
becomes a burden for them. They don't realize. I am reminded of Edmund Burke when he was elected from his constituency in England. And he said, I am a member of the parliament, not the member of the place. So when you elect a member, you're
sending them to parliament. You know, you can't localize
the local element must expand to the
Gaurav,
national
do you agree?
one.
30 seconds.
What I'm looking forward to, I mean, I'll tell you as, of course, the three things that I'm asking for and a lot of people are asking for. I hope that gets implemented. Secondly, I'm hoping that the Aam Aadmi Party stays around. Thirdly, I'm looking forward to a new Congress. I have leaders that I know in Mirzapur, young leaders who are probably going to win the seat. And, they are the people who can take the party forward.
So you want a generational shift?
I'm looking at things like that.
Rahul, last words to you. There's going to be a massive political churn, irrespective of the outcome. And we're recapping. If we can just recap, Rahul, for half a second before I give you the last word. The poll of polls, if we can bring that graphic up. The poll of polls, this is aggregating 6 different exit polls, giving 280 to the NDA, 111 to the Congress, and 152 to others. Rahul.
Baka, I think if you, like Randeep was saying, that there is no Modi wave, but still more voters are voting. That's bad news for the Congress, because Congress is a larger pan-national party than the BJP.
It's a
If there is
party.
if there is no wave across the country, Modi wave, that means there is a vote happening against the Congress at a larger scale. One. Second, elections are usually won by clever people, not by good people necessarily. It is not a set rule. VP Singh, I remember my first election I covered in '89, was a clever man, and he managed to defeat the BJP, defeat the Congress. I think
so the
Modi
path
has
to
been
hell
packaged.
is paved with good intentions.
Modi
not
has
enough.
been packaged very cleverly, and Congress had no answers this time.
All right, Rahul Srivastav, Gaurav Kapoor, Professor Singh, we'll leave it there.
Barka, one sentence.
One sentence. Okay, one sentence.
Yeah, one sentence.
Okay.
It's the worst treason to do the right thing for the wrong reason.
Okay.
This is probably about martyrdom. And Kejriwal has always tried to become a martyr, you say, I suspect.
The debate will continue long after the results. For now, our very last Chai Stop, remember Chai Stop was the segment where we went straight onto the streets, into dhabas, by boat, by bus. We've gone to I don't know, more places than we can count. And we thought it was only fitting that in Banaras, our Chai Stop should come to a poetic end. If you're tired of hearing the politicians, listen to Varanasi's poets. We're going to try and talk. Do you believe that the process of selection at the Chai Shop? It's our very last Chai Stop today on the road to 2014. And it's only fitting that we should bring you this Chai Stop from Assi Ghat on a day when finally the curtains have come down on this most watched constituency of campaign 2014. It's been many weeks of noise, and now it's time for some food for the soul. The politicians have spoken. It's now time for the poets to speak. So, from the worst or the worst of the election campaign to the beauty of the verses, this is Banaras, so it's only natural that we should be talking to the Kavis and the Shayars. This, of course, is organic to the culture of Banaras. And here with me, enjoying a cup of chai at the Assi Ghat, are some of the best known and best loved poets and shayars of Banaras. और आपसे शुरू करती हूँ. मैं बोल रही थी कि नेता चले गए, अब कवि और शायरों की बारी है. शोर बहुत सुना, अब शायरी की बारी है. तो ये जो चुनाव हुए हैं, आप उनको किस नजरिए से देखेंगे? अपनी एक आप लोग तो दुनिया को ही दूसरी नजरिए से देखते हैं.
जी, देखिए, आपने अभी तक एक महीने जो सारे चुनाव पर संकलन किया, वो शब्दों के माध्यम से किया. मैं आपको अंकों के माध्यम से काशी से पूरे देश को एक संदेश देना चाहता हूं कि मिल्लत हमें अंक भी सिखाते हैं, और जो कि गंगो यमुनी तहजीब की संस्कृति की ये राजधानी रही है, सर्व विद्या की राजधानी रही है. 9 ने 8 को एक थप्पड़ मारा. 8 ने पूछा क्यों मारा? 9 ने कहा कि मैं तुमसे बड़ा हूं, तगड़ा हूं, इसलिए मारा. 8 ने 7 को एक थप्पड़ मारा. 7 ने पूछा क्यों मारा भाया? तो 8 ने 9 वाला वाक्य दोहराया. मैं तुमसे बड़ा हूं, तगड़ा हूं, इसलिए मारा। तो 7 ने 6 को, 6 ने 5 को, 5 ने 4 को, 4 ने 3 को, 3 ने 2 को, 2 ने 1 को थप्पड़ मारा। एक बिल्कुल काशी की तरह उदास रह गया बेचारा, एक बिल्कुल काशी की तरह उदास रह गया बेचारा। लेकिन एक काशी बिल्कुल नहीं घबराया, उसने दिल्ली को 0 को गले लगाया। वह हो गया 10, मत पूछिए बस। वह चला 9 के पास, 9 देखते ही हो गया उदास। वह धाम से गिर पड़ा, पके आम की तरह चू पड़ा। लेकिन मिल्लत सार 1 और 0 ने 9 को कंधे पकड़कर उसे उठाया, उसे समझाया, तू डर नहीं भाया, हम तुम्हें मारने नहीं आए हैं, बल्कि ये समझाने आए हैं कि हम और 0 मिल गए तो 10 हो गए, तुम हमसे मिल जाओ, हम 109 हो जाएंगे, 10 से 11 गुने बड़े हो जाएंगे, 10 से 11 गुने बड़े हो जाएंगे।
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया। आप बोले कि इस चुनाव में बहुत शोर हुआ इस बारी, शायद बनारस ने कभी ऐसा चुनाव नहीं देखा। तो जो कवि हैं और शायर हैं, उनको काफी मटेरियल भी नया मिल गया है, मुझे लगता है।
मैं तो बस यही आकलन करने में लगा रहा कि जो नेता हैं उनके दिल में क्या इच्छा रही होगी।
तो आपको क्या पता लगा?
लगा कि कुर्सी से फकत जिंदगी में प्यार करूंगा, नेता बना हूं देश का उद्धार करूंगा। कुछ बैठ के टीवी पे गला फाड़ रहे हैं, कुछ लोकतंत्र की जड़ें उखाड़ रहे हैं। जब से सफाई कर्मियों का बढ़ गया वेतन, कुछ झाड़ू से संसद भवन को झाड़ रहे हैं। मैं साफ हिंदुस्तान का श्रृंगार करूंगा, नेता बना हूं देश का उद्धार करूंगा। कुछ एक दूसरे को ही गरियाने लगे हैं, कुछ आपसी झगड़े को भी निपटाने लगे हैं। कुछ नेता जो चुनाव में कल हार गए थे, उनको भी देखो राम याद आने लगे हैं। मैं वो नहीं मंदिर का जीर्णोद्धार करूंगा, नेता बना हूं देश का उद्धार करूं। आप देखिए कि यूपी में नेता सिर्फ धर्म जात को देखे, यूपी में नेता सिर्फ धर्म जात को देखे। कुछ नेता है बंगाली माछी भात को देखे, और सपने में एक नेताजी कुर्सी पे बैठकर दिल्ली को देखते, कभी गुजरात को देखे।
आप क्या बोलेंगे? आप क्या बोलेंगे?
ऐसा है कि अभी ओपिनियन पोल आ रहा था कि एनडीए की सरकार बन गई, और महंगाई और भ्रष्टाचार मुख्य मुद्दा है। तो मैंने दोहा लिखने का प्रयास किया है कि यूपीए हो या एनडीए या हो वे त्रिमूल, महंगाई की मार से सब फाकेंगे धूल। दूसरा है जयललिता मायावती मुलायम सिंह नीतीश, जयललिता मायावती मुलायम सिंह नीतीश, सरकार विरोधी बन गई बैठनी पोरे खीस। और दूसरा है कि अन्ना डीएमके होवे सीपीआई सीपीएम, अन्ना डीएमके होवे सीपीआई सीपीएम, मोदी जैसे हजारों हो जाए पीएम। और सुनिए क्यों कह रहा हूं, अर्थशास्त्र का नियम है होगा जहां विकास, महंगाई चूमेगी हो जाए, महंगाई चूमेगी। अर्थशास्त्र का नियम है होगा जहां विकास, महंगाई छुएगी उसी जगह आकाश। आखिरी दोहा सुनिए जी कि महंगाई की मार से सब ही है बीमार, जनता का भला करे कोई हो सरकार।
ये तो आप बहुत बढ़िया बोले, ये बहुत बढ़िया, आप ये बहुत बढ़िया बोले। ये चाय भी यहाँ पर, ये 80 घाट की वैसे खास चाय है। इस चाय के बारे में हमारे दर्शकों को कुछ बताइए। दीपक जी आप बताइए, क्योंकि आप यहाँ बैठे हैं।
जी हाँ, चाय ये हनी और जिंजर और लेमन वाली है, और पिजेरिया की और ये गंगा की लहरों पे ऐसा लगता है जैसे सबने बनारस को रीडिस्कवर कर लिया है। बनारस जिसके नाम में ही बना रहे रस है, और मैं तो समझता हूँ कि बनारस काशी पूरे दुनिया में एक ऐसी जगह है जैसी जगह तो कोई है ही नहीं। प्रेम, प्यार, संगीत, पोइट्री, और काशी की ये बैठने की जगह, ये अड़ियाँ, ये चाय, ये इसका कोई सानी नहीं है। किसी पिजेरिया और किसी पिज्जा हट से बेटर है,
बहुत ज्यादा बेटर है, बहुत ज्यादा बेटर है। जी अब आपकी बारी। ये जो चुनाव हुआ, किस नजरिए से आप देखते हैं? क्या मुद्दे इसमें रहे? शोर शराबा अब सब खत्म है, अब थोड़ी चैन मिलेगी।
इसी में मैं एक गजल सुनाना चाहता हूँ।
जी सुनाएं।
ओट के शिकारी आ गए, ओट के शिकारी आ गए, झूठे कारोबारी आ गए, और हमको फिर 6 बदियां चाहूंगा। नए नए सुर में आज फिर, नए नए सुर में आज फिर राग दरबारी आ गए। शेर है, लेके हाथ में कवल का फूल, लेके हाथ में कवल का फूल, गुजरात के पुजारी आ गए। और आखिरी शेर है, मगता है, हमको फिर नचाने ऐ रियाज, जब चुनाव आता है, हमको फिर नचाने ऐ रियाज, ओट के मदारी आ गए, ओट के शिकारी आ गए।
बहुत 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 बढ़िया। मैं अभी आती हूँ पीछे, यहाँ बाबा जी भी दिख रहे हैं, उनसे भी पूछूंगी। चुनाव खत्म हो गया, अब बनारस इच्छा कर रहा होगा कि थोड़ी चैन आए, कोई अच्छी नई सरकार आए। आप इस चुनाव को किस नजरिए से देखते हैं?
अरे अब तो 16 में तारीख नजदीक आने वाला है,
तब तक इंतजार कर लें।
तब तक इंतजार कर लें,
इस पे और कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे आप? तो कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि अभी और कुछ ना बोला जाए, यहाँ आप भी कुछ सुनाए जी।
देखिए, इस चुनाव में मुद्दा भ्रष्टाचार का था, तो इस संदर्भ में 4 पंक्ति में सुना रहा हूँ कि एक भ्रष्ट दूसरे भ्रष्ट से चाहता क्या है। सुनिए कि मैं भी भ्रष्ट, तू भी भ्रष्ट, औसतन सभी भ्रष्ट, कि मैं भी भ्रष्ट, तू भी भ्रष्ट, औसतन सभी भ्रष्ट, तुम मुझे झेलो, हम तुमको भी झेलेंगे, और लोकपाल पास हुआ पर घबराना मत, नए पैतरे से फिर खेल वही खेलेंगे, कि लोकपाल पास हुआ पर घबराना मत, नए पैतरे से फिर खेल वही खेलेंगे, तो मिलजुल भारत का पोस्टमार्टम करेंगे, किडनी को लेना तुम हार्ट हम ले लेंगे, मिलजुल भारत का पोस्टमार्टम करेंगे, किडनी को लेना तुम हार्ट हम ले लेंगे, और मौका मिलते ही गंगा और तिरंगा बेच देंगे, बांट के मुनाफा स्विस बैंक में ढकेलेंगे।
रिएक्शन से तो लगता है कि चुनाव जब खत्म हो गया, वोटिंग भी काफी हुई आज बनारस में, लेकिन लोग अभी भी उसी तरह से नेता को देखते हैं, चाहे किसी भी पार्टी के हो।
मैम, हम बता दें कि हम जागो बनारस के हम लोग हैं। हम लोगों ने बनारस के नागरिक सुविधाओं को लेके हम लोगों ने हाईकोर्ट में मुकदमा किया था, और हाईकोर्ट की वजह से जो अभी आप देख रहे हैं, जो बनारस की सड़कें जो कुछ बनी हुई हैं, तो हम लोग तो ये मान के चल रहे हैं कि हम लोग फिर अपने सड़क पे वही काम करने हम लोग को करना है।
तो मतलब बात वही आ गई,
बात वही
नेता भूल जाएंगे।
हाँ, नेता हम लोग फिर तैयारी करके कमर कस के कि फिर जागो बनारस सड़क पे उतरेगा, और फिर हम लोग वही गली गली मोहल्ले मोहल्ले नागरिक सुविधाओं को लेकर प्रयास करेंगे।
देखिए, बनारस में पान बहुत मशहूर है, और किसी भी चीज का उत्पादन
के पान
बनारस वाला, तो ये बहुत जानना जरूरी है कि पान बनारस से मशहूर। अनजान जी ने गीत भी लिखा था, खाई के पान बनारस वाला, पर्वत नहीं चूने का यहाँ नहीं, कत्थे जर्दे उगाए जाते हैं, पर्वत नहीं चूने का यहाँ नहीं, कत्थे जर्दे उगाए जाते हैं, पान सुपारी की खेती नहीं, नहीं पेपर मिंट बनाए जाते हैं, बीड़ा लगाने की कला यहाँ बड़े अदब से खिलाए जाते हैं, गुलकंद बर्क गिलौरी मगही बड़े ही चाव से खाए जाते हैं।
मैं आखिरी बात 4 लाइन में बोलना चाहता हूँ। अयोध्या फैसले पर लोग, पत्रकार हमारे घर गए और उन्होंने कहा आपकी क्या प्रतिक्रिया है, तो मैंने क्या कहा कि मस्जिद में आप अजान करो और मंदिर में सब पूजा करेगा, अजान भी कान में गूंजा करेगी तो घंटा भी शंख भी गूंजा करेगा, वाद विवाद खत्म करो सारा, अपवाद नहीं कोई दूजा करेगा, अब बाकी जमीन पट्टा करो साड़ को घास चरे शिव की पूजा करेगा।
And that is the last word on this very last chai stop from the incomparable Asi Ghats of Banaras. From all of us here, it has been such a joy to talk to people outside of the studio and to hear these wonderful poets today. They make so much more sense so often than our politicians. Our chai stop, our very last chai stop on the road to 2014. We're going to try and talk. Do you believe that the process of selection at the chai shop? And as curtains come down on voting, they also bring our journey on the road to 2014 to an end. Unfortunately, from tomorrow, it's back to the boredom of the studios, but it has been one hell of a ride. For 2 months, members of this team that you never see on camera, engineers, OB drivers, OB is outdoor broadcast where we fix our satellite uplinks from, countless reporters, of course, giving their inputs, camera people, graphic designers, the editorial producers of this program, the program coordinators. You know, there are so many people, the makeup crew. There are so many people to thank for the magnificent creativity that we've seen behind the scenes. So tonight, as we end, my gratitude and for our viewers to get to know the people behind the scenes who made these 2 months on the road possible.
क्या कर रहा है मेरे That's what I said. कितना fraud.
देखो मेरा पॉइंट है अगर आपने क्या करना है अगर ऑडियंस शो भी करना तो इतने लोग हो नहीं सकते लेट्स मूव देन कीप 4 people only
चाहे तो फिर हम नहीं करेंगे बिकॉज़ ऑडियंस है even more and more guests.
No, we haven't fixed. That's what I said.
These are all just options. Why don't you understand? We haven't fixed anyone.
किसी को फिक्स नहीं किया बेटा ऑप्शंस पूछ के रखा है सिर्फ चंदन और सिंगरी को जिनको पूछ के किया है कल परसों मेरे ख्याल से ऑडियंस शो है तो 4 बहुत है मेरे ख्याल से
ये तो डिस्कस करके बताते हैं तो मैं चाय स्टॉप का क्या करें
नहीं बरखा कहाँ जाएगा आप बताइए ना ऑडियंस है देखिए मैं आपको सीधा
जैसे भी आपके पास कोई चाय स्टॉप
अगर आप 10 मिनट का चाय स्टॉप करेंगे आपके पास 38 मिनट बचे
अच्छा 8 बजे उनको पहुंचा दीजिएगा Still try.
Press conferences, all the rallies.
इस बार तो रिजॉर्ट भेज चुकी हूँ।
उसको बिजनेस क्लास का प्रॉब्लम हो गया था बिक्स
What is it?
इसमें टेस्ट करिए हेलो ऑडियो आ रहा है What happened guys? Noman asked them, will they cut to the 3G downstairs? चलो पूरा देश उस दुकान पे अपने कस्टमर्स ले लिए थे ना कि 5 हो जाए एक मिनट ना मैं थोड़ा बोली Can that margin be एक बारी और रोड पे किया आज क्या तकलीफ हो गया हम रोज रोड पे करते हैं प्लीज यार व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम कैन द डायरेक्टर टॉक टू मी अभी लगाओ कोई चेक अभी लगाओ देयर इज नथिंग इज नरेंद्र मोदी ये नारे रहने दीजिए नारे दोबारा हियर इन sugarcane country we're just please watch it okay don't shout at my crew go and find your own spot पूरा ऑडियो चला गया है मनोज टेढ़ा खड़े हो कॉल कर रहे हैं
Barkha, you are able to hear me, right? This is Kaushik here. ठीक है
रघुल्ला 2 मिनट में गैस बिठा दे Barkha, is it better now? Can you hear me? Ask him.
What do we do about this? Let's do it fast, otherwise it's very difficult.
Okay, Barkha, 30 seconds to begin. Stand by. Juhi, stand by. 20 seconds. Stand by to play.